Hello everyone and welcome back to the Brightworks and another match of Beyond All Reason where I'm bringing you in a little bit early because I found this banter especially funny, talking about doing a commie strategy and then saying work together, but just not quite like that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think about the commie strategies in Beyond All Reason. It's overpowered, or is it just regular powered? Is that just the best strategy and the best strategy should win? Let me know down below in the comments section. But today we're going to get underway here on a match that was played quite recently on the Rock Jungle 2.1. It's a map we don't see all too often, but it's a cool one because it does feature this big wide open ocean lane, which you know I'm a big fan of, and then a bunch of skirmishing pathways on the north and south side, basically dividing this map up into, I would say, like 5 different fights. You kind of have 2v2s on the northern and southern side, and then you have this 1v1 in the navy lane in the midsection, vying for control of this very juicy 3.7 metal per second metal extractor. Now, all that is to say, I don't know if there's like a dedicated build. Like, for instance, Supremacists, very common builds include the Tsar Rush, things like that. But on a map like this, I think you have to play it a little bit more by ear, sort of going off of whichever lane does win a little bit harder in order to go for any kind of crazy tech rushes or anything. But I imagine what we're going to see here is a slightly more aggressive build from our blue team on the southern side, including our blue team leader, watch me clap this, the 50 open skill 4 Chevron hero, silver Chevron hero. As well as Barcast TV, who we all know and love, who are going to be going for, well, some laboratories, some units, and most likely trying to vie for control of this northern side, and then pork up this little hill right here so that they don't have to worry about any intruders. Then they can collapse this lowland southern side here for this 3.7, and then they end up steamrolling the southern side of the map in total. I'm expecting similar things here out of the Red Commander Masta, the Red 58 open skill hero, going to be showing us that Cortex Gaming. Going to be playing right here with the Brown Legion Commander, very interestingly, of all things. Going to be playing with Legion bots and going to be playing on the backline here. We do have access to that geothermal, which is very powerful as well, of course, providing a lot of very efficient energy at the insane cost of 15,000 energy, which is basically unaffordable in the early game. You kind of have to be ready for a mid-game economy in order to afford that, at least in lump sum, or you have to pay for it very slowly. That's how I like to do it. Usually one constructor attached to the geothermal is a slow enough energy and metal drain that it doesn't really hurt your entire economy, but it does eventually guarantee that you're going to step up into that very, very efficient energy production. Just about right, in fact, on time for T2. Red Commander moving forward here, Masta moving forward here with the, it's a core comm moving in, so we're not going to see those LHTs, the heat ray turrets from the Legion Commander. Instead, we'll have regular light laser turrets. Whoa! And a good look at the brand new Thug models. Cortex receiving some beautiful skin updates. Hold on, why don't we, can we just take a little gander at this beautiful bot? Look at that, okay. So we're seeing some Thug Gaming right here, which of course fundamentally is no different than the way that Thug Gaming has worked in the past, but my goodness, what a beautiful little boy trudging through the marshlands right here. That's a hero right there if ever I ever saw one. Look at that, oh, that's so beautiful. What a great rework for that unit. I love the like little shrug of the shoulders, the bounce of the cannons, making them feel really weighty, really meaty. Like those guns are very impactful because they are. Those heavy Gauss rifles, very cool stuff. All right, already in love with that. But I digress as we move around to the other side of this map here, down to the southern side. The grunts. Oh, that guy's hee. Michael Jackson moonwalking it. Oh wow. Oh, actually in all directions. Oh my goodness. Oh, that what a hero right there. Oh no, I think his legs work all of a sudden now. Ah, what a bummer. That grunt was busting a move for sure, but it did eventually reset itself, and it started working properly. Thug here going to start firing away at the goblins. We've got reinforcements as well. Ooh, can we snipe? Nice, we sniped the Resbot. That's a nice pick. For the goblins right here, which are extremely cheap, I would say that's definitely well worth it, but it does also mean we scout the Centurion as well as the Thugs coming up. So the red team is aware of the kind of game that they're going to be playing right here against blue. It will mean that they have the opportunity to adjust to it. Barcast TV moving the lab far forward here. It's an aggressive forward lab, but covered by the blue commander. I think this is more than fair enough. It of course also means that all the resources can be dumped into construction towers between both blue and green, and you've effectively got that commie build, right, where everybody's resources are being shared and put into a single laboratory. Piner, the Lavender commander on the northern side, holding on for dear life. We have grunts trying to harass forward, and we have the commander trying to hold on here with a couple of those LLTs and a couple of those pawns and grunts running out to assist. Kalsari Kant, the green commander here, taking some heavy hits. Looks like we've had some Satyr handed over by our Brown commander, and then we, of course, have the Thugs. This is actually a really powerful composition, because those Satyr do a ton of damage. The Thugs have a ton of HP, so this actually kind of covers your entire early game bases. The only issue is we're trying to fight uphill, which is always a little bit awkward. Not going to be the end of the hill, or the end of the road here, of course, for the red commander, because, well, that's 900 metal worth of units going up against, what, 300, 400 metal? The math is in their favor. Of course, that can change with the right engagement. Green commander forced off the line right here, thus going to be fighting on the front here, asking for a boost. Masta, oh, goes in and gets the D-gun on the forward lab. Nicely done. Do we have a rear lab? I still see a rear lab right here for the purple commander. Oh, you can tell they're typing in chat. No micro right here. I thought we were about to see... Oh, yep. You can always tell that that wide-eyed stare whenever somebody starts typing in chat. And you suddenly see no micro on their units, no micro on any of their backline. We do have a lab starting up again, but man, that's an expensive thing to have to rebuild right here. A little scout plane, by the way, making it into the back. In fact, why don't we take a quick view here of the map as for the perspective of the red team. That's the green commander going down on the northern side, but you can see here, this is what the red team sees. They've scouted most of the northern side, and this plane will scout basically the southern side as well. We zoom back into this right here, we can see that is a beautiful 1,250 metal, plus all the other corpses on the field right now for Masta as we slowly creep those LLTs forward, reinforcing all this to keep this slow and steady push going. We're about 6 minutes in, which means that T2 transition for anybody going for a standard T2 timing should be about complete at this point. However, of course, that also means that units won't actually be out on the field for another 2 minutes or so. So this is pretty much safe for Masta. Southern side, meanwhile, a beautiful trade between the cyan and brown commander. Or is that orange? Oh, that's orange, actually. Cyan and orange trading out commanders right there. But it will be the blue hero that does have the... Well, at the very least, the units in position to deal with any of this. A couple of little run-by hovercraft, of all things. Okay, that's cheeky. Yeah, some Seeker hovercraft floating their way across the map right here. Huh. Maybe they're going to be able to find some serious damage. Yeah, there's metal extractors all along the way, sort of dotting this coastline. If we just peel these Seekers off and go after them one by one, certainly in a good position here. Do we have any kind of anti-air? No anti-air, but this is a Armada air player, so no shurikens or anything like that to shut this down. These units are virtually uncontested. Okay. Thugs right here to kill these Seeker that did stop, unfortunately. If these had kept moving, they might have been able to outrun these and get past into the backline. Not going to be the case, though. Nice defense from our Cyan here, Cruising Bean, who also manages to break the entire front line. Not bad. I love this kind of thing. I love when you see the little advantages piling up and then suddenly compounding into a bigger and bigger effect. Thugs here blasting away at the geothermal, takes down both of those constructors as well. Barcast TV creeping forward on the southern side. I mean, this is, in a nutshell, exactly what we expected to see, right? The LLTs, the twin guards on the hills, and then creeping those forward, killing commanders one by one that overstepped or weren't working with their teammates. You can see we went for those Decurion, but those are so slow to get out on the field that at this point, it really doesn't matter. Barcast taking some serious hits from this thing, though. Whittling down the commander, essentially all on its own to just about 60% HP or so. But there's only so much you can do. Meanwhile, in the backline, ooh, we dropped a bunch of metal into overcharge mexes. Very powerful, also very greedy. Pink commander definitely paying the prices. Yeah, 300, 600. No, 250, so 750 metal of overcharge mexes versus about 750 metal worth of units. It's funny when the math just adds up.
Commander,
call that dynamic storytelling. Red commander threatening forward right here, but not taking a lot of damage is really nice. Excellent control from Masta, the red comm here, for managing to keep these units out of harm's way. Most importantly, the commander, of course. Thus, ooh, in a lot of trouble. Caught by the high ground thugs. Boom goes the purple commander. The juiciest connection we've seen all game as the purple commander goes down, surrounded by 1,000 or so metal worth of units. And suddenly the entire northern side is cracked wide open. Literally nothing more efficient than blowing the commander right in the middle of the army like that, and that is exactly the kind of thing that Masta is absolutely hoping for, as the southern side has been completely and utterly overwhelmed here. Pawns in position, beamer turret up and running, but frankly speaking, that is a gargantuan number of rocket bots. There's not a lot that anybody can really do at this point. Beamer turret trying so hard to make good work of all this, but it really is just not enough in the southern side. Ugh. A beautiful compounding of force right here. You can see cyan, blue, and green all working together to try and crack this southern part of this map, and they've done it phenomenally. In record time here, in 9 minutes and 23 seconds, we see the death of the orange base before those units inevitably move forward to the northern side to try and take out, well, Marek is the first in the way. We might try and harass down maybe some of this Navy as well. The Navy is a little bit of a stopgap, right? Because if the Navy is pulled back, and the Navy has won, by the way, so if the Navy pulls back in time to defend this, they are technically strong enough to deal with this. Like, Navy is that powerful. They can hold this choke one on their own. However, it's a matter of timing, right? We just don't have those units in position at the right moment. Destroyer so good. Frigate needs to get over there and start firing away. If we could deny even half of this, bombers just dropping their bombs on whatever they can, trying to soften up as much of this as possible here. Yeah, Maroon Commander is the air player, so not really spec'd into anything on the ground. A couple of LLTs might have helped here, but really there's only so much you can do. Only so much that those are going to do. We've risked it for the biscuit, but now the T2 is up and running. So the Purple Commander died early on. Well, not that early on, but died, and it did forwarded a bunch of metal back to the red team. Now we've got welders on the field here, though. Welders are impressively stout. They have quite a lot of HP. However, thugs do quite a lot of damage. Yeah. It's good math for the red commander, and I think he's going to take it on this northern side. The welders are going to do what they can, but the reinforcements are streaming in, both resurrected and mass fabricated. Hey, you know what? The gunships in the air have been continually putting on the pressure. Shot down here by the plasma and rocket bots in mass is kind of funny. Bombers also softening a lot of this up. Maroon Commander holds. Marek holds by 5%, 6%. As close of a call as you could possibly have for a commander right there. That's a couple of shots away from death from any of these units right here. Oh, bombers going after the red commander. Oh, they saw a cloak, but they don't have any detection to figure out where it's actually at.
Destroyed.
Another blue commander goes down. That's our lavender hero falling right there.
Has died.
Shuriken paralyzing some of those boats off the coastline. Nice. Still, though, this northern side has crumbled. Yeah, T2 Lab has fallen here. You know what'd be super cool is resurrecting that. If you got a couple Resbots, and I know we have them somewhere around here because, of course, we went for... Oh, they might have been bombed, actually. Resbots might have been killed by the bombers. If the Resbots could resurrect that lab, you get the full cost of the lab back, and that could be a huge spike in the economy. Meanwhile, T2 forces are being sent downwards here. We do have the Phalanx, the shielded riot defense bots with their heavy impulse Gauss weaponry, meant to stun lock any units, like, for instance, sprinters that are pretty fast and difficult to hit otherwise. Sprinters moving into the base of the yellow commander. Doing an excellent job, actually. Sprinters receiving their buff recently, making them quite a bit cheaper. Makes them quite good at dealing with... it's not that they're good at dealing with things, it's that they're very cost-effective at dealing with things. You can produce a lot of them, and you can produce them relatively quickly, and it means that you can get them on the field a little bit faster than the enemy can get, say, Fiends or Striders out there. And sometimes against the proper composition or in the right lanes where there's a big opening and there's T2, but not very much of it, those sprinters can have tremendous effect. But at this point, we do have that T2 army pushing back. The Phalanx are going to be able to hold this against basically anything lighter than the heavier T2 stuff. Wow. We've really set ourselves into a beautiful yin-yang match all of a sudden. Red Commander moving a tremendous T1 force down here. Red and yellow in tandem. Here, let me just remove all this. There we go. That's nearly 8,000 metal worth of units. 6,000. Wow. Those boats are a lot of metal. About 6,000 metal worth of T1 units moving towards the southern side. But T2 is out already. And I don't know. I mean, I think the T2 is going to be more than enough to hold this. We have Sumos moving in. Beamer turrets prepared already. T2 mechs just barely moments away from finishing up here. I mean, I think this defense is fine. Fiends, can we have a little self-D action on the Fiends? Yep, we will. Okay, only one of them actually pops, but we tried. I appreciate the effort of all things. Sumos are in position, though. I mean, these are going to be unkillable. When you have Sumos on the field, it's kind of like fighting a wall. Did Sumos receive a little noise change? It almost sounds like their laser beam was updated. Yeah, they sure did, didn't they? They've got that beautiful new laser noise that the mammoths have as well. That cortex heavy laser noise. Sheldon nice here, of course, because they also put the pressure on. They make it a little bit uncomfortable to just stand around over here mounting this force. Not doing a lot of damage yet, but of course as those Sheldon numbers grow, we all know just how exponential their damage can get. We have a amphibious laboratory here from the Tan Commander who was eventually destroyed. We do also have all the mechs is claimed. That's cheeky. Yeah, look at that. Mechs is claimed by the Seafoam Green Commander. Must have grabbed him with an aerial, an aerial constructor or something like that. Very cute. Wouldn't mind seeing some Resbots move out to try and reclaim a whole bunch of this army. We're jumping the laboratories forward here. We've got the T1 laboratory. We're going to start making some T1 constructors, some build power, and eventually a T2 lab. I like this move right here from our yellow hero, actually. Moving all the production across the map seems risky, but actually that's enough army to hold off all this for a good long while. And we do have more reinforcements coming out now, but for the time being, everything is A-okay. Would love to see these T2 mechs upgraded as well, especially this 3.7. Getting that up and running as quick as possible is necessary. It'll happen eventually, but right now things are looking a little bit suspect. We do have the T2 dropped over here as well, so we're going to see the geothermal coming up, coming up, and eventually the AGEO, I hope, for Barcast TV. Maintaining a forward position here as well. Wow, we've totally swapped places. All of a sudden, a tremendous lull in the match as the entire map has shifted sides. We've arrived with the red team on the northern side and the blue team on the southern side. And that's it. I mean, it looks like basically an even fight if you just measure it like that. Metal for metal cost, I mean, essentially dead even. There are some spikes here and there as different teams reclaim and e-convert and all that sort of stuff. We do have a fat boy firing away. Ooh, can we see another one? Fat connection right there. Splashing the condensed matter projectile across all of the... all those boats right there. One of the frigates goes down. Destroyer takes a hit too. Man, the boats don't even really care though. That's wild to watch a fat boy lose to 2 frigates and a destroyer. How much is a fat boy? 1,400 metal? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's even metal cost is 1 destroyer and 1 frigate, but still feels crazy to me that the T2 can be destroyed so easily by the T1. Medium tanks, bombers, all kinds of stuff aggressing on the southern side, including... oh, Barcast. Barcast with a killer. Oh, he's going to self-D. Okay. I thought we were just going to D-gun.
Commander has
Self-D
died.
works pretty good. D-gun to take out the Phalanx might have worked a little bit better there. Oh, yeah, that's actually a little bit of an unfortunate situation. Those Phalanx can take big bursts of damage like that because it goes onto their shield. Once they lose the shield, they suddenly take full damage, but for the time being, they take way, way reduced damage effectively. The way it actually works is really complicated, and I don't even fully understand it. But suffice it to say, tanking a commander explosion to the face using that armor plating that they've regenerated now over time. Res sub and construction sub, rebuilding the mexes. Destroyer being, super pesky. Killed the advanced metal extractor. What a bummer right there for the Cyan Commander. This force is all T2. Fiends and Sumos and Sheldon en masse. Here come the hero pawns. Both of these teams now set into a situation where they have to figure out how to end the game. In a case like this, superior airplay can oftentimes be the easiest, the quickest way to end one of these. One good bombing run to the backline bases can usually be enough to shut down pretty much anything that one of these teams is going to be able to put together. However, of course, there are other options, more nuclear options. Of course, walking the units forward and killing everything is a viable option as well here. Are these recovering health slowly too? They sure are. Recovering health as well as their shields means these things can take a hit. Couple of arquebuses moving in as well. The all-terrain heavy railgun spiders. Firing a ultra-high damage railgun shot. You know what? Fat Boy getting some value. I don't mind it. Pitbulls here are nice for shutting a lot of this down. I believe those arquebuses do outrange them. They either outrange them or it's very, very close. But the arquebuses are effective here as a siege weapon. Oh, they just don't see that T2 lab coming up right here. Yeah, they don't quite see that this base is a little better put together than they recently did see it as. Sharpshooters coming up here are an effective counter against those arquebuses. Kind of a weird situation, actually. Is this? Oh, don't tell me. Oh, the final commander for the red team. Oh, no, pardon me. That's one of 4. The red team with 4 commanders. The blue team with just a single commander remaining. Blue commander on the backline base right here. Tucked behind the blue base, so safe for now. Salamander's trying to attack this base. We have the poison arrow included as well, like the captain. How much damage that fiend explosion did. 2 of those fiends exploding is enough to kill a salamander. Wow, they're gonna get away with it too. Poison arrows are effectively like a bull. They're a bull with better terrain capabilities and slightly slower firing speed. Slightly more expensive too, of course. It's what you pay for being able to move underwater. Oh, it does go down to its own explosion. Unfortunate, but that is effectively the entire base right here for the Cyan Commander blasted apart. We still have the a little bit of build power here, and that is a saving grace, because it does mean that we're going to be able to rebuild back into this match eventually. Oh, Nasta is found. Nicely done. Heavy tanks now rolling out. Sheldon numbers are so high here now, though, that it kind of makes it awkward to push into this, no matter what you use. The heavy tank's technically the counter to the Sheldon, but the fact that there's so many Sheldon makes it a little bit awkward, yeah. They can kind of kite and move around and avoid those projectiles and fire away from such long range. Still not a great fight. Drone carriers moving out too. Oh, the pesky drone carriers. Super, super annoying. They go out and they harass your units. They force your air into fights that they don't necessarily want to take. Yeah, that is cool to see those mixed in here. Orange Commander with basically nothing, just being handed army units is kind of neat. Saying, here are your tools. What can you do best with them? The blue commander trying to make some more progress over here. Persecutor will make it a little bit awkward. We do have T3 coming out of the laboratory slowly but surely eventually here. Aphis set up on the forward front line, I suppose. Not bad. The first Shiva rolls out of the lab. Sheldon, through much effort, managing to clear out this northern side. Handful of fiends could have done the job a lot earlier, but the Sheldon will eventually get around to it. Denying all these metal extractors is huge, though, because remember, now this means that the blue team has control of, say, 3/4 of the map, whereas the red team has control of, I'd say maybe they have control of 60% of the map, where the red team has control of about 40% of the map. That's about to change as the T3 hits the field. And of course, it doesn't really matter if you have giant eco scaling in the backline. We have fusion reactor scaling, which is slightly more efficient for Legion. It does mean, though, that the red team has the energy advantage, which eventually turns into the metal advantage. Destroyers firing away here. Cool to see that we're getting back into the Navy. Navy is one of the things on this map that can just be a win condition. If anybody gets a capital ship out and puts it in the middle of the map, it can hit basically the entire midsection of the map. Forces all the engagements to these very thin lines on the north and southern sides. Little engagement here, the remnants of an engagement rather, as the Fat Boy retreats. as fast as it fat boy can. Now, I'm really surprised to see that neither team has really gone into a gigantic air force at this point. I suppose, yeah, Cyan's been rebuilding for the greater part of this match here. Oh. Mammoths and transports. Mammoths and T1 transports, mind you. Very, very slow, but headed across the map at this point. Okay. Going for some very cheeky maneuvers right here. This is next tier level of cheeky maneuvers. Oh, fighters being pulled off to try and protect these. Duck swarm on the coast here. A shock force just to see what's on the coastline and see if they're able to even make land here. Oh, the mammoth's taking some heat. Okay. Transports finally find a landing solution. They will get their mammoths deployed on the beachhead. Fighters not pulled in time. Ducks have managed to kill the T2 vehicle laboratory and are headed straight for the T3. Karganeth coming out here. Ooh, a bombing run. Okay. Absolutely 0 hits from the bombing run. Karganeth. Ooh, okay. So there's some valuable targets. We need to take the build power out. We need to pop the E-converters. Ooh, build power goes down. Pop another one. Oh, we do get the build power. That's huge. Shutting down that build power is gigantic because it means no more T3 units effectively coming out of the red laboratory. At this point, the mammoths just need to slowly inch their way forward towards the front here. They can do that, but it's going to take them a minute, of course. Still, this T3 is melting pretty quick. Anti-nuke goes down. Do we have nuclear shenanigans going on back at home? Tell you what, we have bombing shenanigans going on. A couple of heavy bombers coming across here. After I was just saying we haven't seen too much of the air, the heavy bombers do connect with the backline. Fusion reactors popping. Or we're going to get the other batch too. Oh, nice snipe right there. Takes out the remainder 2 fusion reactors for the Cyan hero as well. Down to just the AGO. Mammoths, meanwhile, will be cleaned up. That's a clencher for the red commander. You never know if you're going to be able to shut down mammoths. They're so tanky. Grunts here with the distinct advantage of being able to shoot while the pawn's guns were effectively muted by the water. One of those weird imba things that you don't see all too often, so nobody ever really cares or thinks about, but there you go. There it is. One of the weirdest imbas in the game. Just the fact that pawns can't shoot in this water while the grunts can. Okay, well at this point, a clear advantage for the red team, as they have taken no damage and managed to do some. Very minute, right? I mean, we were talking about sniping 4 or 5 fusion reactors, but at this point in the game, that's a giant part of the blue economy. Anti-air bots firing away as fast as they can to try and take these drones down. Somehow these... I'm not sure what is doing all this damage. Are the drones doing damage when they get shot down on the platform? It seems like that's the case. This is great, though. And this ultimately costs quite a lot, too. Yeah, you can see 14 metal per second, 450 energy per second to run all these. It costs a lot to get those drones repaired or rebuilt. And every single one of these drone carriers is rebuilding them. Pitbull firing away here.
Battle paused.
Sort of the last standing defense. Blue team looking to close this game out. Looking for a resolution here. Bombers on the way. Are we going for the APHIS? Oh, we sure are. That's a lot of fighters. Oh, just too many red fighters. Yep, bombers are shot out of the sky. Red fighters managed to defend quite nicely. Maroon and red in tandem here managed to clear those bombers before they can do any damage. It's very, very nice. Push continues on the right-hand side. Still anybody's game. We have a few of these claimed metal extractors. Super pesky. A couple of these claimed metal extractors right here. Meanwhile, Marauders looking for their opportunity. So far, so good. We have found that the base has been effectively walled off here. Marauder don't really care. They can just step right on past that. Should be targeting down the build power. They will. There we go. Build power does pop. Bombers connecting with the Agio. Oh, is there enough of them, though? Bombs away. Oh, one more bombing run. Boom goes the Agio. Okay, nicely done. Marauder now sneaking into the backline here as well. Twin guards will start to fold. Darkness, D-A-R-C. No D-guns out of our brown commander here. Oh, Marauder, what are we shooting at? Oh, no. Oh, they're targeting the wrong thing. There's nothing here to kill them, but there we go. Okay. What? D-gun eventually connects with the Marauders. For some reason, we've abandoned microing these. I don't know why. Has to do with this push back home, certainly, as you can see. Loads of Thanatos, drones, Arquebus, all of this make a very difficult push to deal with. Build power popping, though. What a hero. 3% HP remaining. And will manage to kill the T2 vehicle laboratory. That's a gigantic snipe right there. Relieves all the pressure from this front line. Suddenly, all we have to do is take care of all these units. Now, that is easier said than done, of course. Brown Commander has exhausted their economy, though. I mean, we have all of these drone platforms constantly building more drones, and it's using up all the metal. If those are just getting shot down by the anti-air, then it's kind of a waste. Eventually, the T3 lap falls. Wow, is this really the dream composition here? Mantis, Arquebus, and Fat Boy for support. I guess at the core of the... Oh, and the Thanatos helping out a lot, too. Launching those missiles. Those volley fire missiles. Wow, it's enough to force BCTV out of the game. Alright. Not interested in rebuilding the base back here. Instead, going to go ahead and tap out. We have T1 bombers and T2 bombers coming up right here for our blue commander. Getting very, very into the air forces here. But man, we have so much anti-air available. Yellow, maroon, and red Air Force all combined to try and protect that coast. And we haven't done anything to shut down this push that's still encroaching. Not to mention, of course, that those Arquebus are technically a kind of anti-air that can fire up at planes, so if you keep your bombers or fighters over them for even a minute, they're eventually going to cut them down. Bombers. Ooh, bombers moving out. Fighters absolutely scouted all this. Little bit of a weird engagement right here. Blue fighters moving to intercept the red fighters moving to intercept the bombers. Anti-air trucks on the ground making this fight much better for the red heroes, though. Yeah, and you know what? Red absolutely comes on top, comes out on top with that one. I can't believe it. Red pushed back to just a corner of the map here. Air forces are reduced to atoms. But now we've got T3 on this side. What are we going to do against the T3? Beamer turrets ain't going to cut it. We've also got this ginormous army pushing in as well. And we've got the bombers shot out of the sky. Again, T2 fighters cleaning all this up nicely. Oh, that is huge. Absolutely on top of it with the right units in the right spot at the right time. Not even in T3 anymore. We do have we do have the capital ship built. Unfortunately, I just don't think this capital ship is going to be enough. Shiva's under the water. And above. Wow. Nicely played by the red team. Managing to claw their way back after what looked like an inevitable defeat. Every one of their sides was broken, but they managed to find these little areas to sneak in. The bombing run to take out the backline of Barcast base. The little Marauder run-bys to knock Cyan into the game a couple times. Bombers now in the backline, just courtesy killing the blue commander as this game has drawn to its close. But the T3 eventually make the difference. And despite not having control over the map, managed to have control over the energy with proper eco-scaling. GG. Very good game right here from our red heroes. Lovely stuff. Thanks a ton for watching, folks. And I sure hope you enjoyed. Of course, if you made it to the end of the video, I'm going to guess that you did. And if you'd like more Brightworks content, feel free to check out the streams we do every Saturday, 12 to 4 PDT. Another great opportunity to engage with the community alongside with the Discord. And I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I will see you in the very next match of Beyond Our Reason. Peace out, everybody.